Do you like sucking dick? Whether you do or you don't, I'm sure you'll like this deck. It's a prison deck, a pretty good one for that matter. Like a typical white-red prison deck, we got 4 Chalice of the Voids, 4 Blood Moons, and 4 Simian Spirit Guides. But we have some brand new cards in the deck. One of those is Justice Strike. For a red and a white, it says target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Now, this card does not take out Tarmogoyf or Tassiger, but it does kill about 80% of the most played creatures in Modern. Typically, a white-red prison deck will run Journey to Nowhere, which for 2 mana exiles a creature, but if Journey to Nowhere leaves play, the creature comes back into play. So when you compare Journey to Nowhere to Justice Strike, I feel like Justice Strike is better. It's instant speed, and our opponent can't get the creature back. But what I'm most excited for in the deck is this brand new card here, Deafening Clarion. For 3 mana, it deals 3 damage to all creatures, and it gives our creatures lifelink. But a lot of you are probably thinking, Daddy, who cares about lifelink if our creatures won't even survive the 3 damage board wipe? In most decks, the lifelink is irrelevant, but we happen to have Gideon, another Gideon, and most importantly, Hazoret. All 3 of these dudes are not killed by damage. So the main idea of the deck, have a creature out, then fire off Clarion, killing our opponent's creatures, and swinging in for a lot of lifelink. Now, lifelink in Modern isn't inherently good, but incidental life gain is very good. So this single card has the potential to wipe our opponent's board, give all of our creatures lifelink, and if all 3 of these guys are out at once, that's 15 life that we gain in addition to a board wipe. If that isn't good value, then I don't know what is. And another thing that I really love about this card is that it's not double red. White-red prison decks usually run Anger the Gods, and while the double red and Anger the Gods doesn't seem like a problem, it is a problem. Because we're packing 4 Blood Moons, and sometimes doing a turn 1 or turn 2 Blood Moon with Simian or Gemstone, we gotta have a lot of planes ready so that our double white cards don't get shut off. So going back to Anger the Gods, it's really hard to have 2 red mana available on turn 3 and then 2 white mana available on turn 4. And thanks to Clarion, nothing in our deck costs double red, and that makes things a whole lot easier. Other than that, the deck's pretty straightforward. We have cards to delay our opponent like Lightning Helix, Wrath of God, and even Gideon can delay. Gideon's +1 ability prevents damage from a permanent, plus his ultimate's really good against like Ad Nauseam, Mill, Infect, stuff like that. Big Boy Gideon's also good too. His plus ability forces creatures to attack it, and his minus ability kills a tapped creature. But again, the main reason why I'm running these Gideons here, this one turns into 4/4 indestructible, and this one turns into a 6/6 that can't take damage. But the cleanest way to win this deck is definitely with Hazoret. Hazoret and the other 2 big boys, they're especially hard to deal with in this deck because we have Chalice out. The main way to deal with these guys is with Path to Exile, and our opponent can't Path to Exile if there's a Chalice out. Very convenient if I do say so. As for lands, we have 25 of them, which is kind of a lot, but we do have a lot of high casting stuff, so it feels about right. One land is a Gemstone, has the potential to let us play Chalice on turn 1. We also have Temple of Triumph. It has Scry 1, really helps dig through the deck. But now on the sideboard, we've got 3 defense grids because I hate playing against blue control decks with this deck. We also have 3 Rest in Peace. A lot of graveyard decks floating around, especially since Dredge got a new toy, so that's why there's 3 there. There's also 2 Stony Silence, mainly to slow down Tron, also a Day of Judgment. We already have 3 Wrath of Gods in the deck, and if we play against humans and they name Wrath of God with Meddling Mage, making it so we can't cast Wrath of God, we can still cast Day of Judgment. There's also 4 Leyline of Sanctities. It stops burn, it stops discard, it stops a lot of things. It's pretty good in this deck. And lastly, we have 2 Crumble to Dust. It dick slaps Tron pretty hard, making it so that their Tron lands never turn on no matter how many games it goes. And that's the deck. So let's get to the gameplay, but first, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any videos. But without further ado, here's the gameplay, and I hope you enjoy. Opening hand, we can turn 1 Chalice or turn 2 Blood Moon. Yeah, we'll keep it. Opponent mulls to 5. Oh, please be aggro. Now here comes Daddy. No, es muy grande. So the majority of their deck's been shut off. They do have Grim Lavamancer, but we'll kill it eventually with one of these 2 cards. Come on, put like an Eidolon or something. Goes to Lava Spike. Probably just to put stuff in the graveyard. Ooh, Gideon, nice. Well, we're short of land to do anything, so we'll just pass back. Back on opponent's turn, they swing in for 1. Sure. Justice Strike. Could just kill it. Yeah, might as well just do it now. Boom. And then back to our opponent. And there's a concede. Kind of lame. So unfortunately for our opponent, we got them 4 ley lines. We'll trade them out for Blood Moons. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, pretty balls, we'll mull. As leyline, sure, we'll keep. Not a land. Hooray! Opponent plays Goblin Guide. Please dig for a land. Not a land. At least Goblin Guide's out to help us dig. 2 Goblin Guides. Land? Yes. 1's fine. So we take 4, go to 14. But we still can't play anything. Hoping to use Justice Strike on one of these next turn, but go tempo, look for a land on top. You're not a land. And pass back. You would think a deck with 25 lands in it would not get mana screwed like this. Monastery. Opponent swings for 5. Land? Oh my gosh. Simian's not bad. So we could go for the Wrath of God if we can pull a land soon. So we go to 9, and we could Justice Strike on our opponent's turn. So I think that's the best game plan here. Oh. They only have 2 cards in hand, but they could have lethal this turn. Opponent swings. Still no land in a 25 land deck. There's 1 bolt and Skull Crack. So even if we do kill one of these, that's still lethal. Alrighty. No changes going into game 3. Opening hand, no ley line. Leyline, not gonna cut it. Yeah, we got 2 Leylines, so even if they can kill 1, that won't be enough. And by thinning our hand out like this, Hazoret can come out pretty easily. Simian. Yeah, I think we race to Hazoret. So Leyline, play a Plains, and then pass back. Opponent plays Goblin Guide. Simian's still on top. And back on our turn, play this. Gideon. I'd rather have something like Boardwipe, so I'm gonna bottom that, and then pass back. Another Goblin Guide. Swings with both. Justice Strike on top. Okay. So we go to 14. They pass back, and now this turn, let's go with Hazoret. Keep it as a blocker, and then pass back. Monastery. You know, the irony is they could attack with Goblin Guide, and if we hit a land, we can't block. And they are taking a moment here. So I wonder if they're trying to decide if it's worth the attack. Ooh, and they don't. Probably figured it wasn't worth the risk, and there we go. Chalice. I think Chalice is the right move here. As long as Hazoret's out, there isn't really any need for us to rush in, because once we board clear, we can just go straight in. All right, back to our opponent. But if they do have Disenchant, I'm sure they'd go with the Chalice. Ooh. So it's like Ghetto Eidolon. Oh, and they go for it. No land, no land. Oh, but there's a Deafening Clarion on top. And here we go. Sweet dreams, my dear prince, because here comes daddy with lifelink. Wah. So we go from 5 back to 10, and now back to our opponent. I mean, they almost got us there with the Goblin Guide thing. It was a close one. All right, with Gideon in hand, let's dump the Justice Strike, and then swing for 5, putting them at 8, and then back to them. And there's the match. And it was a match with a very classic prison feel to it, with the Chalice and the ley lines. So I was happy. Pretty good start, and now on to the next match. Opening hand, turn 1 Chalice. So let's do just that. Boom. Wow, really? Their opponent messaged us sexy. Not the word I would have used, but I can see why he thinks that. So the question is, why would he concede? What would he be running? It wouldn't be a control deck. It'd probably be an aggro deck. We don't even know what color they are. Well, if they are aggro, I'm going to take the gamble that they're in red, and I'm going to take out 2 Blood Moons to put in 2 Leyline of Sanctities. So they could have like a lot of discarding, but it could be burned. Hopefully they're not burned. And with that, let's go to game 2. I just realized that Justice Strike and Hazoret are kind of like pointing in the same direction, but we ain't keeping this. Mull. Ugh. Mull that. All right, I'll make this work. Bottom. Hey, it's Goblins. All right, Temple. Where that Boardwipe at? Nope. Do we want that? They could have Goblin Guide. Nah, if they had Goblin Guide, they would have played it turn 1. So let's bottom that and pass back. Goblin Pile Driver. Isn't Pile Driver like a sex move? Is that what he's doing to that guy there? Probably. Another land. But we could use a Justice Strike on the Goblin Pile Driver. The next turn play Hazoret. Opponent swings in, and before damage is dealt, let's Justice Strike that hoe. You shall Pile Drive no more. Never mind. Oh, wait, we got that. Ooh, you know what we should do? Let's go for the Hazoret Clarion combo. So we'll do this, play Hazoret, and just hope for land next turn so we can get 1 card in hand. And with the lifelink, that will be most gangster. Opponent goes Bushwhacker and swings with the team. So either way, next turn we're board wiping, with or without Hazoret, because we're already a Goblin Grenade away from losing. All right. So unfortunately, we can't attack. That would have been nice, but we'll see if our opponent has the win here. Firebrand. It's a grenade. Oh, no grenade. And opponent swings in, puts us down to 3, and a Helix. Might as well just Helix this, and then pass back. Grenade? No, swings in, and then grenade? No, Lavamancer. Ooh. So let's go Leyline of Sanctity, protecting us from Goblin Grenade, Lavamancer, and the Bolt, and we'll hold back to block. Back to our opponent, and no attacks from opponent. Back to us. Another Helix. Cool. So we could just clear the field and attack. So go Helix. Oh, I a little slow in the head, because he killed the Lavamancer with the Lavamancer. Oh, so no life gain for us. Well, do we Justice Strike? Sure. All right, we can still get this, though. Goblin War Marshal. That's pretty good against Hazoret. And a Gideon. So we'll hold back with that, play Gideon, and pass the turn back. The War Marshal dies. Foundry dude. And then opponent passes back. Land. So do we swing with Gideon? I guess. We could always just block. All right, let's start getting some damage in. Swing for 4. Opponent takes the 4. And pass back. We'll use this to deal 2 to our opponent. And opponent plays Bushwhacker, but no Surge. That could deal a lot to us. Ooh. Oh, it's all Gideon, too. Then end of turn, discard this land. Puts them at 7. And there's a concede. Pretty straightforward match. So on to the next one. Opening hand, we got a turn 2 Blood Moon, but no planes. Do we keep this? Yeah, I suppose we risk it. Who can turn down the turn 2 Blood Moon? Start with Temple Triumph. Bottom that. And pass back. Close Death Shadow. Oh no, is Hollow One. So turn 2 Blood Moon is not going to do much now. I think it's better just to go for the Wrath of God. This is going to be a very tough one to win. So for now, we'll pass back. Opponent swings in for 4 and plays an Angler. So we really need to land here. Fine. Next turn though, next turn. And we do have a Helix to buy some time. So opponent swings in for 9. We go to 7. And opponent fires Faithless Looting, Phoenix, and Graveyard. Adept. All right, let's fire a Helix at our opponent. And if we don't draw a land here, we screwed. Oh, no. I mean, we could go to 1. No bueno. We could Helix. I'll get back the Phoenix. I suppose we'll hang in here. Oh, and there's a Bolt. So even with the Helix, they've got us. So we go into game 2. So going into game 2, I've done 4 Bloodmans, put in 3 Rest in Peace and 1 Day of Judgment. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, that's pretty balls. We'll mull. Meh. Alright, we'll keep. Bottom, Temple of Triumph. And the thing against Hollow One is that if they have Burning Inquiry, it's better to have more cards than to start off with the right cards. We have a Day of Judgment in hand to hold us over. And there is Burning Inquiry, taking our Day of Judgment. And it looks like we needed it. Oh boy. I mean, what do we do? Opponent swings in for 8. We go to 12. They play a Dep. It looks like they're stuck on 1 land. Chalice. How many do we play? Chalice. We play Simian. I guess just Chalice. I think we're losing this no matter what. We just got a top deck Wrath of God as basically our only out here. Opponent swings for 9. We go to 3. There's Bloodghast. Opponent got this one. Oh, wow. Opening hand. I'm not feeling this one. I'm gonna mull. Ooh, nice. So play Caverns. Dumping that. So now we go la la. No, no. No, no. Opponent grabs a Swamp. And back to them. Uh-oh. I think they might have just been red-black after all. Well, Gideon. Or maybe they're Mardu. Probably Mardu. But they usually splash white. So the turn 1 Blood Moon wasn't as epic as I thought it would be. Oh, and a Dreadbore. Oh, that's so brutal. Back on our turn, I think we go with the Boardwipe before too many tokens come out. And that'll buy us some time for Gideon. Unless they have another Dreadbore. Oh, that card's so good against us. At least there's Hazoret. Opponent goes Inquisition. Too bad. Opponent dumps Lingering Soul, so they could cast it back from Graveyard. Chalice. Yeah, let's go Chalice on 1. That shuts off a lot of their deck. And opponent flashes back. Lingering Souls. Pull land. Cool. Back to opponent. Opponent swings for 2. Lingering Souls again. Come on, Boardwipe. Nah. We could play Gideon, but with all these spirits out, it's not really that great. So we'll pass back for now. Back on opponent's turn, they swing for 4. We go to 14. Back to us. Blood Moon. Do we just play Gideon to buy time? Lose 2 per turn. I guess we go with Gideon. We gotta do something to slow things down. So up Gideon to 8, force them to attack Gideon next turn, and back to our opponent. So back on opponent's turn, they swing in for 4. Gideon goes to 4, back to us. That's not Boardwipe. So up Gideon, might as well play another Blood Moon, and back to our opponent. And oh look, another Dreadbore. Opponent swings in for 4, we take 4. Boardwipe? Nope. Do we even play the Simian? I guess we play it. Alright. Back on opponent's turn, they swing in for 4, no blocks from us. Back on our turn, Gideon. At least that buys us a turn. Might as well swing for 2. Take that. Then play Gideon, prevent damage from the spirit, or one of them, and then back to our opponent. The opponent doesn't go after Gideon at all. Okay. Puts us to 3 and passes back. Well, isn't going too well, but we could ultimate Gideon, force them to deal with it. Just trying to draw that Boardwipe. Opponent swings for 4 at Gideon. We shall save it by killing 1. Gideon goes to 1, and Boardwipe. That is not Boardwipe. So up Gideon, swing for 2. Back to our opponent. Back on opponent's turn. Opponent kills Gideon, and oh my god, another land. So that is the game. The penetration was strong. I mean, it took out 3 of our planeswalkers. Not many people can do that, so, you know. Alright. So going into game 2, I'm done 4 Blood Moons, 3 strikes, 1 Gideon to put in 4 ley lines, 1 Day of Judgment, and 3 Rest in Peace. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, I don't know. I guess we keep. Alright. Play the ley lines, play the temple. Day of Judgment, no. And back to our opponent. Ooh, Rest in Peace, nice. So we shall play the Rest in Peace and pass back. And they're holding on to their fetches because they're not sure if we have Blood Moon or not. That is totally fine. So we'll play Gideon, see if they have Dreadbore. Molten Rain, oh my gosh. That's the only red source we have right now. Oh no. So much for Hazoret next turn. We'll take this. Second Rest in Peace. And then we shall swing in with Gideon. Put them 12 back to them. Dreadbore? Nope. Pyromancer. And there's Dreadbore. Okay. Wrath of God, not bad. Still missing a red source though. We'll pass back. Opponent swings for 3. We go to 14. Draw land. Cool. Do we Boardwipe now before they get any creatures out? It's not like they have white for Lingering Souls. And Reveler costs 8 with Rest in Peace out. Alright. Opponent passes back. Red. Nope. So back to our opponent. There's a white source. No Lingering. Another Wrath of God. No red source for us. And destroys an enchantment. But we do have duplicates of both. Takes out another one. Ouch. And passes back. Oh my gosh. Still no red source. Back to our opponent. What is happening? Opponent passes back. There's red source, we'll take it. For Hazoret. And then swing for 5. Opponent goes to 7, back to them. What the hell is this shit? Alright, Lingering Souls, Reveler. But looky here. Here's the Boardwipe. Swing for 5. And next turn, unless they gain life, we shall get it. Faithless Looting, Reveler, and Pyromancer. Followed by Lingering Souls. But guess what? We win anyway. Hooray! So despite our opponent fumbling our butthole all last game, we still got the win there, but we'll see how game 3 goes. Opening hand, I don't know. It's a Rest in Peace, but I really would like to see the ley line. Do we mold this? this? I mean, 2 planeswalkers, they could just have Dreadbore. I think we got a mole. Yeah, let's keep this. We'll keep it. Land, bottom. So no Inquisition or anything. Play a land, pass back, bolt, and opponent passes back. Let's go Chalice. With wear and tear out there, and knowing he has at least 2 of them is gonna be a tough one. Back to opponent, and a Molten Rain. Alright, back on our turn. Let's go Rest in Peace, and if our opponent has wear and tear, they most certainly will use it this turn. Because like, they can 2 for 1, and yeah. Ooh, Engineered Explosives on 2. But we've got more where that came from. But for now, pass back to opponent. Come on, do Engineered Explosives. Yes. Because next turn we'll go Rest in Peace. Gonna play Lingering Souls, followed by Lingering Souls, and passes back. Should we Helix? Yeah, let's Helix our opponent directly. Boost up our life. Come on, land. No land. Ooh, we're gonna have to take 4 this turn. So instead we'll go Rest in Peace and hope for land for next turn. Opponent swings for 4. We go to 11. And you're not a land, so we'll go Rest in Peace again. Back to opponent. Opponent swings for 4. We go to 7. Land, land, land. So here comes Clarion. We bought some time and still no wear tear. Pyromancer. I'm gonna pass this back. Land. So what is the most important thing now? I think we go with Hazoret followed by Ravnica. I think that's the best move. Though our life is getting pretty low. Opponent bolts to get a token. Swings for 3. So we go to 4. And now back on our turn. If our opponent was hoping to win easily, unfortunately it won't be that easy. Because this is gonna get dragged out. Swing for 5. Opponent goes 9 back to them. Opponent plays land, pass back to us. Land. I suppose let's play Leyline of Sanctity. Swing for 5. Puts them at 4. Might as well play a land. Bottom. And back to our opponent. Opponent's fetching down to 3. Okay. Come on, big boy. Let's see what you got. Pyromancer. And a Dreadbore on that. The one time Dreadbore doesn't wreck us. Back in our turn, pull a land. We could hit him down to 1. So what is the right play here? We'll definitely do 2 to him. But do we attack? Do we hold back? I guess we just hold back, right? Yeah, because it was block here, 2 to us. Yeah, let's pass back. Will our opponent attack? No. So discard. Putting our opponent down to 1. And now we could discard here, but let's go out with a bang. Swing for 5. And what a finish. I did not think we were going to get that one. I mean, surviving Dreadbore in our deck, that ain't easy. So I was pretty happy with this one. So to wrap everything up, I would say the deck's a lot like Pile Driver. Not the card Pile Driver, but the sex move Pile Driver. Because a lot of the games felt very polarized. Either our opponent was pile driving us hard the entire time, or we were pile driving them hard the entire time. And then there were other games that were really dragged out, almost like we were 69ing each other. And then after a really long time, someone managed to poke the other person's eye out. But there were no normal length games, either really short or really long. And that's pretty typical of a prison deck. But overall, I'm very happy with the deck. There weren't any issues with Justice Strike. I was happy about that. And Deafening Clarion was very, very good. Statistically, if you include these matches and practice matches, the deck had a 60% win percentage on the dot, and all the decks played against were competitive decks, no strange brews. A 60% win percentage certainly isn't metagame breaking, but it's by no means bad either. So I is happy, and hopefully you are too, and that's the end of this video. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any videos. But that is all for now, and as always, I hope you have a great day.